Broadway.
It's Broadway, and you hadn't done it before.
Why are you doing it?
The money.
That's kind of what I used to do with Succession. The time that you came and you didn't know any of them.
I just didn't know any of them.
Got the collie wobbles. What?
Nope, that's not a word. No, we're gonna need a translator. Thank you for doing this in my home. I know it was a last minute change for you, but I just thought the views are
rather opulent.
Yeah, it's my taste. This is
really
how I
fits
do.
in with your taste. Yeah.
I think so.
Do you get cue lights to go on?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Do you?
Huh.
I mean, you don't because there's no point.
I never leave.
Why would you never leave the stage?
I'm on.
Is there an
from
initial
the
cue
beginning.
light, or is there like a?
No,
do you just know?
Billy Page is the curtain, and then I step forward, and then I say a sentence in my head, and then I go on.
What's the sentence in your head? Can we know it?
Yeah.
I mean, you brought it up, so obviously you're going to tell me.
As I was saying, I was like, oh, Kieran's going to say that.
Okay.
As is your...
needling thing that I do. Yeah.
Very sweet.
Journalistic.
Daughter the other day jumping off a little step thing was like, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I do a trick. Jumped.
She said that?
That's so cool. I love that so much.
So that's the sentence you say to yourself?
So now in my head, I get on stage and I go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, mama do a trick.
and then you jump.
And then I go. It's nice because it settles me, and it's sort of like, it's a whole game. It's all fun. It's all silly. Take yourself out of the seriousness.
Is it still fun?
It is.
Because you've been doing it. Okay, so before London, you did it in Australia?
I didn't perform it in Australia. I rehearsed
so
in Australia.
it had been done
there.
before.
No.
And then, so you had the whole London one.
Yeah, 101 shows.
And I saw it there.
Yeah.
It was intense and it was awesome, but it was how the hell are you getting through each day, and you're doing 8 a week. And
yeah, and breastfeeding.
And there must have been, and breastfeeding, there must have been like I can't wait for as much as I'm having fun, I can't wait for the end date.
Totally. But so I do a prison count, I call it.
I saw that in your room.
Prison count.
You were crossing off
really,
each show.
Really specifically, and I've structured it so that I don't know how many I've done, and I don't know how many I've got to go until maybe the 50 mark, and then it's like, if I start getting like, antsy.
Oh, I have 87 more to do or whatever.
That's exactly the number right now. I have 87 more to do.
Is it actually?
It's not enough.
That's fucking weird. Is that true?
Yeah, I've done 30. So there's, I think it is 87, or maybe it's 86. But that is, which means that you've got the same amount, I think, right?
Oh, I don't know. I don't.
How many total do you have?
I think somebody said it was 123 or 128 total, including previous.
Oh yeah, we're 111.
So I think 100 is what I was told from opening night, which is a weird number, which doesn't sound right because if you're doing it a week.
111
total,
including previous.
You got to be that little bit better than me, huh? I do 11 more.
Number one, baby.
When it ended, was there I did it, or I want to go and do it again feeling?
No, weirdly, and I've not done this in this season so far, I never really took stock of the bows. It was like, gotta get through, gotta get home.
It's just part of the show.
Gotta get, yeah. It was like, yes, thank you very much for coming. Very kind of you to stand, blah, blah, blah. I appreciate you. You appreciate me. Let's go. I gotta take a shower. And even to the last one, and only was the last one in London in the bow was like, oh, it's actually pretty special to be doing this. Huh. And
that was the only time you were able to take it in?
Yeah. And
then
someone said to me, just before starting this season, like, remember to take it in because you won't do it again after this. And you know that that's the case. I think in London I was like, I know I might do Broadway, so it's okay. But now I am taking stock this time.
So when you're looking at that 87th show or whatever that you have, you're like, I got to make sure I really soak it in before that ends.
Which will help because it'll be like 200 and, I don't know how many. What's maths? 212 by the end.
Oh, Jesus.
212.
Come on. Are you able to take in the curtain call this go around with a little more?
Yeah. Not matinees. Matinees is like, I gotta do this again.
Yeah. So
you do matinees, right? Saturday, Wednesday?
We do Saturday, Wednesday, yeah. We have the most awkward curtain call, I think, ever. And the director...
You guys do a bro hug.
We do like a weird bro hug, but before that, it was even weirder before. He was like, just bow whenever you feel like, or something.
You feel like it?
Yeah, just like, and he said, you're not really going on the same... He was like, should we rehearse it? He goes, no, I think I like that it's sloppy. And so it's this weird thing. And then
was there a little bit of like a, oh no, after you, sir. Oh no,
kind of a
possibly. You should. Here, let me introduce you.
There were these weird meetings about it. Yeah, it was a thing.
Meetings.
Yeah, I called one to be like, it's a little too weird. And I was like, I was going to write an email instead on the day. I was like, hey, can I grab you, and can we just go talk about how weird this is? And I know you like it weird, but can we make it a little less weird? And everybody kind of agreed on the thing that's weird, but not too weird. It was,
Well,
which is like the worst thing.
Bow was fine. I was surprised by the bro hug.
The bro hug, but some people want to like take in the moment, and Bob likes talking to people. Like, good to see you. Glad you came in. I can see the first like 5 rows, and then it's all. Yeah, no.
The first 2 or 3 rows I can make eye contact with. Oh my God. There was this guy in the front row the other day. I genuinely was about to burst into tears. It was like such an effort of a show. I can't remember what went wrong, but something went wrong. And he was in the front row, and I was like, he's like my science teacher dad or something. He was like, I made eye contact with him and went, oh, thanks, buddy. Like, it was such a...
We had a guy in the front row, not just front row, like front and center, who kept screaming at us as if we weren't 3 feet. That was awesome! Guys, that was awesome!
It's going to be heard over the crowd.
Like, I heard you. He said it like 8 times. We're like, I know. Like,
he really loved it.
That's great. I'm glad he's enthusiastic, but he's literally this close. We can hear you. Yeah. There's no screen here. We're right there. How do you learn all those lines?
How do you learn your lines?
I don't know. I just read them.
Yeah.
Is that what you did?
I walk when I learn lines. I think I learn them kinetically, and they go in better. But if you ask me to say a line...
Like in terms of in the blocking? Because sometimes like people learn them within the blocking, so if the blocking changes, they can't...
Yes and no, but that's kind of what I used to do with Succession. I would like learn 80% of it, and then I would get 100% by the time the blocking was set, because I knew that I'd be on this
Was the blocking
area.
ever set, though?
It was like, I'll be in this area, and then that's when I'm saying this line.
Okay.
So I don't need to worry about that until I'm there. Except that time that I would rely on other people to know their lines as well, and the time that you came and you didn't know any of them.
I just didn't know any of them.
Oh my God.
And I thought I could do it. I thought I was like, that's all right. I read it once. I could do it.
And
I
then
just
you
walked
went
in.
first.
And I what?
And you went first. Your coverage on your side was first.
Did we do coverage? I don't even remember.
It was like that side of the room.
I just remember starting to talk and go, I actually
room.
don't know this even a little. I was like, do you need to stop? I was like, no, let's keep going. I'll figure it out. No, sorry.
I couldn't do that on this, though. Had to learn my lines properly.
And
how did you, with this, you have to be really specific. With Mammoth.
Yeah, which, I'm used to doing before the Succession and everything else. So I was used to, I was like, I was worried it was going to feel like going backwards.
Oh,
but it hasn't felt like that.
No, that's going like forwards in a way, because you're having to bring all that like spontaneity and nuance and all that kind of stuff, but into a framework.
Yeah, and keep it, exactly. Keep it sort of spontaneous, but exactly the same thing as we did yesterday, but I don't know. Yeah,
Is it the same, exactly the same, do you find?
No, it's always different. There's stuff that isn't quite, like we're always working on little bits. There's a section that it's like, it wasn't working for a while, and now it works in terms of it's clear. There's clarity now at least, but the moments aren't quite working. So but then we find something.
That's cool.
Yeah, every show it gets a little bit better. We'll get it by the end.
Is that kind of somewhat rehearsing in an audience in that way as well? Like you're like, if we actually leave like a hair longer or a beat longer here, then the audience will laugh, or.
There's little things like that. It's more like when it comes to like laughs, specifically in this one section, there were like laughs that were coming, but they weren't the right ones. They weren't like, they were like, okay, that's kind of a silly thing that's happening. Whereas you can tell if this line later on gets a laugh, it means we were clear. We made it. We made sure, because we were doing this really like fun stumbly thing, which just wasn't. It was fun for us, but it wasn't really clear in terms of what the scene was about. And then once we got rid of like the humor and the stumbliness of that, and just made it clear. The laughs that are actually in the play, the things that are actually funny in the play, when that would get a laugh, we're like, good, they're following, and that's the play, not what we were doing. So you kind of drop the silly sometimes.
What was the feeling on that? Was that like, oh, Mammoth, gotcha? Or was it like, I didn't realize that? Was it like a...
It's more like sometimes something will come out, I don't know if you have this, something will come out and it'll get a laugh, and I'll go, that's the wrong laugh, I got to make sure I never do that then.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then when it's in the text, and you get that laugh, you're like, good, I did my job that I'm supposed to do. Not like burp before your line comes out because, they'll chuckle at that sort of stupid thing.
Oh, that's good.
Do you still find things like that?
Yeah. I found something the other night that I was like, that's fun to do. But then I worried that I was maybe making the audience laugh at a point which maybe they should be listening rather than laughing. So I did it when I knew Kip was in the audience, and I did it then so that he could see, and asked him if that was okay, and he was like, I loved that. I'm like, great, that's good.
Were there a lot of differences between London and New York? Or changes that were made?
Yes. No. And there's
Yes,
some bits, some from like differences made from the Australian runs to London.
Okay.
There was a major thing that was changed in terms of like motivation through line right at the end, and then another bit with a speech thing was sort of doubled up with the narrator and me at the same time, which fortunately we were able to change before we did the pre-record, because otherwise it would have been like, once you've done the pre-record, it's like, that's what it is.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Do you ever get to like go back and go, okay, can we tweak that? Can we reshoot that? No, not even a little bit.
I fucking love that. Excuse my language.
Oh, fucking A.
I would love that. No, there's a few things that I can hear myself say in the pre-record that I'm like, wish I'd lobbed that line up a bit better.
Is there going? I mean, now that you've opened, no.
No, I would say that the shooting of the pre-record at the end of 2023, because I'm acting opposite my 2023-year-old myself from 2023.
Got it. Yeah. You were in 2023.
No. Although I felt like it.
I'll
bet. I was 6 months postpartum and losing my brain.
How the did you do that?
I don't know.
How old was the baby? What?
I have a great husband.
You do have a great husband.
Yes.
I know you do. So that helps.
That helped. Yes.
How old was she when you started rehearsals in London?
She was 7 months when we started rehearsals. 6 months when we started rehearsals in Australia, and then we had like 4 weeks off to do the Emmys and Globes and nonsense at the end of season
4 weeks off. Yeah, that's not off. That's a lot of work.
And then I had
travel.
to get to I had 2 major panic attacks. One before leaving from London, from LA to go to New York. Oh, I'm having one now.
Trevor, I mean, you're reliving it. This is great. Yeah, you have a 7-month-old going from Australia to LA for, oh my God, stop.
2 weeks there, and then we did the show. And I got COVID just before. I got COVID and missed 4 days of
Pile
tech.
it on, yeah.
That was like on the Monday, and then had to do the first preview the following Monday.
Well, you got through it, didn't you? And then you decided, let's do it again.
Let's do it again.
Yeah, why? Now, what was the draw? How come when it was over, you were like, it's Broadway, and you had done it before?
Why are you doing it? It's Broadway.
The money. No, it's Broadway.
It's Broadway.
It's Broadway.
Yeah, but
that
you've
is
done
the thing.
Broadway before,
I
right?
did once before, and like 10 years ago, and I had.
Is it different?
Yeah, I mean, a different play, different kind of experience. Yeah. Yeah, but when that one ended, that was a dream, because I pursued that one. That was This Is Our Youth. I pursued that one for like 8 years, and I had to spend years trying to convince the playwright, Kenny, that I was right for the part, because he was like, you're not, which I get on paper, I'm not. And it took years to convince him, and then I ended up doing it with like one of my best friends, Michael, Sarah. So that was like a dream thing, like working on a play I loved that I've been pursuing for years, and a part that I had to commit. It was like, and it was a joy. And when it ended, it was like, all at once I wanted to keep doing it, and I miss it, but also I feel like I've done it, you know. And I think we did sort of the best version that we could, and, you know. So that was a good feeling. Right? We not sort of. So we did one production in Sydney actually, which was only for like 12 performances or something, and I think that was Kenny's way of seeing if I could play that part. I think.
Was it first?
Yeah, we did that first. Like we did that back in like 2012
I thought you were saying that
or
was
something
Kenny's
like
way of like getting a holiday to Australia.
No, he didn't even come. He actually watched one run through in the New York rehearsal room, and after that, I think he saw that I could, because it was a reimagining of the character in his mind, because it's
fair enough.
Yeah, so we did that, and then we did it in Chicago, and then to New York. It was like a precursor.
Did you do it for?
I don't remember, 7 months total or something like that. It was a bunch in Chicago, and then on Broadway the run was whatever. How's the experience so far? Do you want to maybe do it again? How is it as like a parent?
10 years. I mean, that's the thing, is like you'd find it different from doing it as a parent to as a, how old are you, 23, 24?
I was 32, something like that when I did it.
How old are you now?
42. Biatch. Man, I know, I'm old as shit. I got children, plural. I'm middle-aged. And I'm doing Broadway.
But it's such a different experience, I think, doing Broadway with
kids.
kids.
It is, and I've talked to people that...
There's not many people on Broadway with kids.
No, and I've asked lots of people that have
know,
like young kids, and they're like, because I thought being on a schedule would be really good.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, they're like, you'll never see your kids. Like you know, especially if your kids are in school, which is why I asked if I can get Sundays off for that reason, so I can have one dedicated day to be a dad a week.
That's good. Yeah. We got Mondays.
Yeah, Mondays, which is the
But do you do
thing.
some 6
But your kid's
weeks?
also not in school, so. No. Are you doing that?
Yeah, I asked. I was like, I can't do 7s and 8s again. Because there were some 8s back to back, and I was like, You're killing me, man.
Do you miss having a scene partner?
I would like to say honestly, yes, but I don't miss it as much as I thought I would. Weirdly, I would really love to have someone to like have something new from.
Yeah, well, it's like when you find a rhythm with a person, whatever. Like then that's kind of really cool. But also, you're finding the rhythm with yourself. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and also like it really makes you like I have to really listen and find something new all the time. Because if I'm like phoning it in, then I'm gonna stretch I've got like 13.3 seconds to say this line, and if I don't say it in that time frame, then if I say it too fast or I say it too slow, then it's all mashed up. Jeez. So I have to find a way to like make it fresh, make it new within that certain format.
This very specific. Jeez.
Yeah, but that's I feel like that's it with Mammoth. You got to like it's a musicality.
Yeah, but
to
we have shows that go a little slower, some that go faster than others, depending on the energy of the whatever the blah 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 is.
I am an hour 53.4 most times.
You're what? An hour 53.4? What? It's that specific?
Within the hour 53, yeah. I think an hour 53.40 is where it sits well.
Do you go off and ask the time?
I always ask.
Me too, but I'm always wrong. I'm like, that was a long one today, right? They're like, no, it was right on time. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I don't. I feel like I have a sense of the thing, but I don't.
Yeah. No, I feel like I've got a somewhat sense of it, but then I appreciate. I know in London it was always an hour 55. And so when I was here,
crazy,
it was
that little difference, it makes a huge difference. That minute and 20 seconds.
Well, now I want
to
find out whether they were counting with the bows or not, because I'm an hour 55 here with bows.
Oh, okay. I see. It's probably kind of the same. It's funny though when it's like this much.
It makes a difference.
Like a minute makes a huge difference.
Huge difference. Yeah.
One of my favorite things, and this is something you don't get to experience. My favorite part of the show is there's this section where Bob Odenkirk as Shelley Levine just describes his sail to me, and it's like 5 minutes of me just sitting and listening to him, and it's my favorite part.
Really?
Ever since the rehearsal room, I love it because he's always finding new shit, and he's always doing different, and it's so much fun every night. I know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you don't get to get that.
No.
But this is why you got to come back and do Broadway and have other actors work with.
In a long time. 10 years.
In a long time.
I think so.
I feel like I might do the same. So far, so good in terms of like having young kids, but but
I've got like so many friends and family are coming over, which is really special.
That's a nice thing, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It's nice, and it's nice to like be able to share that with people because it is like it's Broadway. It's a huge thing, so it's nice to be able to, like, have you ever had this experience where you're living somewhere else? Oh no, you've always lived in New York, in Manhattan.
Yeah, I have.
But I guess like in London or something, like if someone came over and visited, like your mum or your partner or whatever, comes and visited, you're like, this is where I get my coffee. And this is the chemist I go to. Like stupid domestic shit.
I did a play in London, and I
like,
remember feeling that way.
Yeah,
it's
nice.
This is where I get my bagel. Yeah. I know, in London. This is the one place that makes bagels. It's really good.
It's like sharing the really simple kind of domestic pleasures is really good, I think, with people who are, your home and your family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether you won't say it yourself probably, so I'll say it for you. Like, you're also in a show that people love. That like
that's really special.
And that is a thing. Like people coming up to me, people at stage door talking about how they
at my stage door and tell me that you were telling them to go see the show.
I tell them all the time. They're like, we came all the way in for this, and I was like, well, what else are you seeing? And they'll tell me something. I was like, no, you got to go see Dorian Gray. I've also had people like sign your playbill.
Did you know? Oh, I signed it second. No, there's been a few books that have come in, and where there was one that was like bookmarked. And you had signed it already. It was like
of a Succession book, or
yeah. It was like a quote,
I've seen that.
And you'd written, "Did I?" It was like a quote, and you wrote, "Did I?" And so I wrote, "You did."
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, people have me signing your play, but that's got to be something. Have you ever been a part of a play or something that you're in there? You're like, this isn't very good, but you have to continue the run and you have to commit to it and do it.
I've been in a play that was really good, but I wasn't good in it. Or at least I didn't feel like I was good in it.
I've been there too, yeah.
It's a
bummer.
pain in the ass. Mm-hmm. What a ball ache.
But did you... Because
it was like a potential transfer to Broadway, and I was like, please don't. I couldn't do this role.
Okay. And it didn't transfer to Broadway. Okay. And you genuinely felt like you were not doing the job.
I could have done
better.
Were
you still at it? Or were you sort of like, I've committed, we've locked the show in, I gotta like do it like this?
I think I got the... You're going to pay me out. I've got the collie wobbles. What?
Nope, that's not a word. No, we're going to need a translator. You didn't get the collie wobble. What?
What's that word? excited. I got in my head too much. I got like the fear of
the collywall. What's wrong with you? This is not...
What is that word? I think it's a British word, maybe.
Most likely.
Your wife probably knows it.
She probably does. You guys, both of you guys have the most ridiculous words for things.
Tea and biscuits. I got sort of like anxious, and I think I kind of was like, I'm not doing it right. I've got to do this. Fortunately, I was working with someone who was brilliant, so I got to watch them every night. But I would come on and off the stage, and I think every time I came back on, I was like, is that right?
Is that better?
I don't know.
Did you ever figure out what the thing was?
I think I just wasn't right for the character. Or I just judged her maybe, or I was like, I don't know.
I did one where it was like, I think I figured it out like a year later. I went, that's what the thing was. I was so sure about what the first choice of what the character was, that like, because part of it fit, but the rest of it didn't, and it wasn't landing, and it did the whole run, and I was like, this isn't, And then it was, and then I realized,
no, it's this. I'm gonna stick with it.
No, I'm doing my first choice is right. You? I'm going with my instincts. Yeah, instead of listening to the fucking text or the
director.
And the director who kept telling me this thing, but I was 20. He kept telling me This Is Our Youth in London. So that's why I was playing Warren, and I had this very specific idea on who he was, but it wasn't landing. And he kept telling me front foot. And I was like, okay, and I had no idea what the hell that meant. And then like right before our first preview, he yelled at me. He was like, I keep telling you front foot. So I was like, I don't know what the fuck that means.
Oh, no.
And then we ended up having like a shouting match, which was fun to do with the director. Yeah, I didn't understand what he meant until like a year later, which is like the guy's constantly coming at you and being like, and you can punch him and knock him down, and he just bounces right back and says, great, can we go play football? Let's go do this. He doesn't care as long as we're hanging out. And I was doing like introvert sit back on my butt thing, which was just
so
wrong.
Weird. That's not even, that's
I
not
know.
really you at all.
I was trying something different. I was trying to be, I don't know. It just wasn't right. Yeah. But I knew it wasn't right.
Yeah.
But I couldn't figure out why. But I was still trying. I wasn't oh, well.
Yeah.
I was like, I knew it wasn't right, but I'm like, I'm going to find it. Oh, that moment's a little better.
Yeah, that's good. I think it wasn't that I wasn't trying, but I was like, I just didn't have a metric. I didn't have a good perspective on whether I was any good or not.
What about being in a play that is bad? I did one of those where we all knew, and the playwright tried to shut it down before.
Oh, no!
He was nice enough to take it to a vote. He gave his explanation as to why he thinks we should shut this play down.
Oh my God, and it still went ahead?
He took a vote. He goes, I know you guys have all worked really, really hard on it, so here's my reasoning for why I think he's like, and everyone voted to keep it up, and then we did it. We knew before he did that we were really not doing anything good.
Were you going to not get paid if you didn't go up?
It's off-Broadway. What are you getting paid to me? No.
Why did you all want to do it then if you knew it was going to be bad?
Well, because you thought on page it kind of looked good, but as the production was coming together, it was like this is a wild misfire.
Yeah.
But then after that, it was sort of like, okay, here we go. You can tell from the audiences that no, and then the reviews were. But I was like, this was fun. There's like freedom in like.
Yeah.
Okay, this thing isn't landing, and I'm just gonna I'm gonna keep trying and
try something new. Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
keep at it and kind of like joking amongst ourselves, like, well, they hated that one too. But I'm guessing you haven't been a part of one of those.
Not a real stinker.
Not a real stinker, but this one must feel really great.
This is a good one. This feels good. This feels nice.
Yeah.
This feels nice to do. It's also so fucking athletic, which is a pain in the ass as well as great, that you come off and go,
Are you keeping up your health? Like I know, like in you're
not drinking.
You're not. Coffee, you did that in London.
Yeah.
What was your thing? There was no alcohol, but you said no coffee.
No coffee. I mean, that was easy to do anyway because I had a baby, so it was like, not that you can't drink with coffee with a baby,
sure,
but
you
like
can have a little bit here or there. Yeah,
I just was.
No, I know.
Coffee affects me really, like coffee really affects me, and so if I have a coffee too late, then I knew I wouldn't sleep after the show, and then I don't sleep.
I'll have
I got to get like 2 hours
the
sleep
show.
before I breastfeed, so 2 hours.
Oh my
sleep.
God.
Yeah, that was like, do not have anything that's going to interrupt that schedule.
I thought I was going to try to do what you do. Instead, my diet is like 5 cups of coffee, 2 scotches after a show, and a 2 a.m. cheeseburger. It's the worst, I know.
Do you sleep?
3 hours, and then I try to get like an hour nap in the middle of the day.
Do you wake up would you wake up with the kids in the morning?
Yeah, I get like an extra like 40 minutes, I would say. Jazz does the initial, and then I get like...
Dave does the initial.
Yeah.
I'm very lucky.
But then I do like, I'll do the end of the getting them ready, a school drop off and then back to sleep in theory, but there's never enough time and there's always shit
You're
to
not
do.
good at napping, though.
Not very good, no. And I was advised against it, but on a theater schedule, yeah, because my sleep was getting worse.
What?
Yeah. Also, I have
yeah.
sleep apnea, which is fun to talk about on camera. Sleep apnea, guys, and I haven't tried on the CPAP.
That's bad for your brain.
But, oh no, this is gone. This is. I mean, there's a ticking clock on when this goes. You're gonna have to soon enough before you know it, you're gonna wheel me in a corner and go. He's just talking. Just wheel me in a corner and let me just watch me chat to myself. And that's probably where I am right now. But I feel like I'm doing an actors on actors. But really,
in the Rainbow Room.
But really, I'm 60 years old, 4 strokes in, talking to myself.
Reminiscing about, doing
I was like, what's he talking about?
Who is
Did he say Dorian Gray?
Oh, I feel
Was this-
very, very honoured that you've chosen me in your
in
your
my hallucinations. Yeah, this is
Shit.
not real. Oh, somebody better change me. I'm feeling wet.
Yeah. Oh.
What? That's supposed to snap me back to reality. I was just trying. Okay, I think this is real. Pinch.
What are they called in Inception? The
Inception.
little,
Oh wait, like I'm supposed to
token
be
things.
well versed on the. Oh yeah,
if
I
it's
saw it
showing.
like whenever it
Years
came
ago,
out, which
yeah.
is forever ago.
This question has come up recently. Do I ever get the characters confused? And I said, nope, never do. How could I? It's very clear. I don't get them confused.
And then you
it
did,
happened.
didn't you? Because somebody planted that in your fucking
2
brain.
nights in a row. And I will say it was because in the Opium Den, I go under the stage and they're filming with the phones, and there's been a new update to the streaming app. And so now the phones don't work with the streaming app.
Oh, that's fun.
So
that's really
sometimes
fun.
they work and sometimes they don't. And we can't tell when.
Way to
It's
rely
really
on tech,
frustrating.
yeah.
Anyway. Exactly. It's a frustrating situation. Anyway, during a show, it happened. And I, stupidly, because it is a pat head rub tummy kind of show, and you will have this anyway as well, I'm sure. You can be really in something and delivering a line, but also be like, cheeseburger. I'm really thinking about that. Am I going to have pickles tonight? So I was doing my line and thinking about, okay, how could I have troubleshot that better downstairs? Should I have turned to that camera or that camera instead? Maybe I should just run upstairs next time. Oh, I'm doing the wrong voice. No. No. And I was like,
And then
okay.
twice in a row?
And then the next night, it happened again.
Same spot?
No,
Yeah.
same spot because of the Opium Den, because the camera's stuffing up. But it was because like I don't have time to
Calibrate?
cough or like get snot out of my nose, or I can't do anything. I've got to talk the whole time.
Snot rockets?
No, I can't. Well, I'm on camera.
Oh, that's right.
It's like,
What's a character choice?
no. So I thought, when I'm James Vane, I'll be able to go to like clear my throat rather than go. But I needed to do it too quickly and said Dorian's line as James Vane, and this like, what are you doing?
Did you just go back and do it
I
the
just kept
correct way?
going.
Or
I
there's
kept
no time?
going.
No,
And
you
the
got to hit
director was
that
in the audience.
13 seconds.
Yeah.
Of course.
The director's in the
Of course,
audience,
that's
and I
when
said,
Kip
did you
is
notice
there.
that? And he said, no. I went, yes.
Funny
Great.
how like little people, he's the guy who
He's the guy who
adapted and
knows
directed it, and he didn't
What
even.
does he know?
And what does he know? But isn't it funny how people like huge mistakes can happen on a
know.
stage, and people will be like, I thought
If
that was
you
part of the
just,
show.
like, yeah.
People that have seen it
Keep
several
those plates
times.
spinning.
And that thing you were talking about, like I had this the other day where I was on stage and I was like in my mind going, fuck, I feel really present. Why is it quiet? Well, it's my line, isn't it? It's my fucking line. I have no idea what I'm supposed to say. It was like 4 whole seconds of quiet because of the thought, I feel really present right now. What's going on? Oh, shit.
That's so good.
Yeah.
How did you feel doing your opening night? Were you like, hey, I'm really excited. We've done this so many times now, 10. But like I feel good about it, or
In my opinion, I wish we opened like 2 weeks later or weeks earlier.
Oh, yeah,
I was
right.
still really, so basically I went in with an idea of this character. I've never seen any previous production of it. I've never seen the film, so I don't know. I have no
Yeah.
frame of reference for the show or
Yeah.
anything. So I have my sort of interpretation of the character. I went in at the beginning with my first idea, my first instincts, developed that for like 8 weeks. And then I would say about 10 days before we opened, I had bronchitis and a sinus infection. I was on steroids and taking
Yeah.
antibiotics. I felt weird. So a weird show happened. It was something different. And I was like, I want to explore that. Director liked. So we kind of like explored this other sort of take on the character in a way, especially the first act. And that was sort of what we did and what you saw. And
Yeah.
then it wasn't landing the right way because it wasn't sort of right. So I slowly found myself back
Back to the
to what I
beginning.
was doing before.
Yeah.
And it's better.
Yeah.
And it's helping the the rest
that's
of the
cool,
show
because you
go.
have the two versions of the character then. Like
I
sort of
do. The
history of
second,
that.
the thing is, the second act has kind of always been the same, and the struggle was I sort of found this guy in Act One who was very different from him, and I couldn't get him to fit there.
Yeah.
So once I went back, I was like, oh, they match now. If that
right.
makes any sense.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So you didn't know or see any, hadn't read the script before it came to you?
Never read the script. Never.
And how do you feel about other people having done...
You know, other people have their own interpretations of it.
Yeah.
Oh, who's? I don't know.
I saw...
It's like caring about somebody you're dating's ex's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw him in the audience on opening night.
He was there.
Is that a weird experience to be like, oh, I wonder what he thinks of the version I'm doing?
I hadn't thought about that, but now I will.
Do you know what? I really was happy that you did your opening night after me, because when I got to your opening night and I sat down and I was like, I know that person. I know that person. Oh, God. Were all these people at my show too?
Yeah.
That's a really unnerving experience.
To think about,
Think about like, oh, I like that person's work. I hope they like mine. And instead it was just like, I'm doing a show for a bunch of strangers.
Yeah, I don't know who was that, because I barely even, but I got to the party like 2 hours late and everybody was gone. Thank you for waiting around, by the way.
Well, you're welcome.
Yeah, that was nice.
Say hi.
You know, like you have a little child at home. You're like, I say hi. Okay, good job. I'm fucking off home now. Yeah.
Is Succession long or Broadway musical?
Okay, you want to go first?
It's the bitch of living with nothing going on.
Whoa. Say it again.
It's the bitch of living with nothing going on.
Musical. Am I right?
You are correct. Spring Awakening.
Okay. I've seen that. What the fuck is this obsession with milk? You know who drinks milk? Kittens and perverts.
I think that's Succession.
Yeah. Do you know who says it?
I feel like you.
Yeah. What the fuck is his obsession with milk? You know who drinks milk? Kittens and perverts. Good memory.
Well done.
Your turn.
I'm just a simple sponge.
Okay, now that's probably Succession, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that that's a musical.
I was trying to do it like Greg. Yeah, it's a musical.
That was your Greg? Not terrible. Not terrible. You gave me the calling ball, so, you know.
The musical.
I mean, yeah. Did you have to even say?
Am I just a simple sponge?
My turn.
Yeah.
Everything is legal in New Jersey.
Aww.
Something I haven't seen, but I've already told you it's a musical, so screw that one.
It's a musical. What's the musical?
Hamilton.
Everything is legal in New Jersey.
Oh,
I can't believe I haven't seen that. I'm not the only person
I'm
left.
not declining, I'm just not clining.
That's Succession.
Yeah.
But I remember that line, but I can't remember who said it. I'm not declining. Is it Matthews?
No.
It's yours?
It's me.
Oh.
I'm not declining, I'm just not... I'm not clining. If I said it in
Oh, yeah. I remember.
rather than like, not declining, I'm just clining.
Right. Like a coolie woman.
I'm not declining, I'm just not clining.
Another vodka stinger. I'll drink to that.
But I don't know,
It's not from
actually.
Bagoo.
Baguette?
Bagoo.
Can you do it again?
Another vodka stinger. I'll drink to that.
Musical?
Yeah. Well, guess which one up? Company. You guys still with us? Did you delete? You click? Okay.
Would you like a Xanax? Because you are freaking out and it's freaking me out and we are all freaking the fuck out.
That sounds like Succession. So that's my guess. It's not?
It's not.
Ooh.
Ooh, we got him.
Got me.
Come from away.
All right.
Would you like some Xanax? Because you're freaking out.
Succession. What was it?
All right. I mean, it's just... I wonder if the sad I'd be without you would be less than the
yeah.
sad I get from being with you. I mean, that's
But that's such a poetic line.
It's such
One
a
would
thing.
believe that it was from a musical.
Oh, sure.
I wonder if the sad I'd be without you would be less than the sad I get from being with you.
Do you know Jesse wrote that line on the spot in front of me? Because I was
That
like,
doesn't
I feel like
surprise
I
me.
leave this scene and I feel like Shiv is winning still. And he's like, really? I don't think she does. I'm like, I don't know. I don't think she's getting off too lightly. Or it's not really, I don't know what it is. And he goes, it's a sort of like the sad I get from being with you is not as bad as the sad I get from being away. I was like, yeah, something like that. He goes, oh, let me work on it. Let me work on that. He's a genius.
I mean, he just is.
He's directing a film in Utah right now.
I heard he's got a lot of the same crew
I
as
know.
well.
I wish I could have been there.
Yeah. We weren't invited. Your turn.
You love showing your pee-pee to everyone, but someday you're actually going to have to fuck something.
That's your line to me in SpongeBob the Musical.
You love showing your pee-pee to everyone, but someday, you're actually gonna have to fuck something.
Okay, this is a tough one. No one mourns the wicked. All right, go ahead. Your turn.
Well, you look like a dildo dipped in beard trimmings.
That's Succession, but I can't remember who says it. Is it me? Is it you? It's you. I don't remember.
It's you.
I say it?
Yeah.
Dildo dipped in beard trimmings.
Nothing.
Is this helping?
How is this helping? I mean, that's the way to end it. If it is to be said, so it be, so it is.
Greg.
Yep. You want to do your impression of him? Want to read it? Just the face alone is a good enough impression.
Oh, as
Come
he
on,
does
do
it
it.
in his own.
Hey.
If it is to be said, so it be, so it is.
If it is to be said, so it be, so it is.
Bye.
It was a pleasure to meet you. It's Snook is the pronunciation.
Snook.
I'm going to try. Should I actually trying to say your name like that? We're going to keep this hand shaped like
How
this.
do you say it usually?
Snook. I say it the wrong way. I say it the
No,
American
that's
way.
fine.
I only because then I gotta.
I'm
Because I never
not
call you by
precious
your
about
first
it.
name, so I never call you Sarah.
Oh, I think
just
I'm
call you
trying to hold
Snook.
these still.
Oh.
Did not work.
Anyway, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming to my apartment.
Oh my god.
We'll be better next
Children.
time. Shouldn't have done this. Yeah, that's it. Goodbye.
Bye.